I'm going to finish 3ds Max and I'm going to demonstrate about lights and rendering. So after placing all your materials, you will be placing all the lights so that you can make it visible, all the materials and all the models. And as per the lights, your material will reflect the light and it will show its nature, about the material's nature and about the material's properties. You will see exactly as per the light. So you need to place the lights properly so that you make a great scene before rendering. So let me open a file. I have a file. Click on open. Just a second. Okay, now is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the scene and all the lights are placed right now. So let me just show you how you can place all your lights and what are the lights available in 3ds Max. So I will select these lights. Let me just select all. And now let me just delete all these lights. Now let me change it to perspective. And here you can see that if I have deleted all these lights, I hardly can see all all the model properly. And here, as because this default light is on there, because of that default light, I'm getting some lights to see the model, right? So right now I need to place the lights properly, and here I have created some cavity on this ceiling so that I can place the lights here. Okay, so I'll go to the top view, go to the top view, and let me change the visual style to default shading. Now I'll come to this option that is called lights here. Okay, and I have two light under this photometric. I have two light, target light and another is free light. Okay, so target light is basically targeting one object or one particular direction, and free light is there is no particular direction or particular target object. It is a free light which scatter the light evenly in all the direction. So let's start target light. I can choose target light. I can after that also I can make it free light, and even if I choose free light, I can again make it target light if I need. So that changes can be possible. Let's choose this target light, and here it's asking that you are creating a photometric light. it is recommended that you use the physical camera exposure control. All right. So do you like to like to change this? Okay, exposure control setting can be adjusted from the environment and effects dialog. So do you want to uh, make this change? No, I don't want to make this change. All right. So I will apply the light exposure and everything. So I don't need. So I'll click on no. Now let's go to this target light option, and here you can see that light properties is on and shadows is on right now. And here it is set as targeted. Okay. Now let me just place it and minimize target light. No. And here let me place it. Okay. Here it is placed. And let me just see around it. Okay, this is placed here. Now let me move it up, and here you can see that I'm getting some lights and it has one target object. Okay, so this is the target. You can move the target accordingly. The direction will be fixed as per the target direction. Okay, now let me see where the light is exactly. Okay, so here the light is. Now let me just select the light, and here I'll place it the right location. Okay, here it is placed. All right, and after that you can come to this modifier option, and if you don't need this target, so you can make it free. Now you see that it is right now free light, and if I click on this targeted, it will become the target light. So that I can change after that also. And about the target distance, here it is the target distance. You can select the target and you can change the position. Okay, so let's make it free light. I don't need to. So select the light. Okay, so that you can get all the properties here. And now I'll make it free light, and all these shadows are on. Okay, and here you see that these are the intensity. Okay, what kind of light it is, as per that you will see the light color. Okay, if it is a fluorescent light or halogen or what kind of light it is, you will select that. Okay, so this is the one which is selected right now. I will go with that default, and here you can change if you want to create a custom one. So here you can choose the Kelvin, and you can define the temperature. As per that you will define one light type, and you can apply some filter color as well. Suppose like this, you can apply some filter colors over there, like this green you can apply. Okay, so if it is needed, you can apply about the filter color. And this is the intensity, and the unit is right now set as candela. And now let me change the intensity like 10 times more. And here you can see some more lights. Now I need to add more light. This one single light is not enough to fill the full area of this room. So I need to place more lights. I can go with the same intensity, or I can change the other intensities as well. And here you can see that I'm getting a little bit more light with this a bigger intensity. So right now the intensity is 15,000 candela. And about the other properties, I'm coming later. Let me place some more lights over there. I'll go to this top view, and then let me just place it. And okay, sorry guys. Okay, so let me place some more lights. I will go with the copy, hold shift, and then drag. Okay, and then make it instance so that you can control all the properties, all the lights properties by one single light. So that's why I'm making it instance. And how many number of copies you need, you can place that. I'm going with one, and then I'm going to add more over there, and I'll do with instance. Click on OK, adjust it. Now let me make another duplicate over there. Right. So now let me just select these three and hold shift and drag in this direction. Place it. And then number of copies will be 4. Click on OK. If you need to adjust anything, you can adjust. Okay, now you can see that lights are placed here, right? Lights are placed, and here you can come to this any single lights properties. Okay, so we have all these properties. Now let me talk about this uniform distribution, light distribution type. Okay. If you need to change the before that, if you need to change the intensity, you can apply the intensity. Okay, you can see that it is changed about the intensity. Okay, and if it is needed, you can apply that. All right. So I think it's too much. It's making it whitish. So this is the right intensity. Okay. All right. Okay, fine. So now let's do some changes about the light distribution type. So you can make it also a spotlight kind of effect. You can give some spotlight. Okay. So you know about the spotlight, that it creates uh, a light on this particular area only. So for that you have this hotspot and this fall off area is there. And for this I need to change for this. Let me give it more. So this kind of effect you will have. Okay, about this spotlight. So if you need any spotlight, so make it targeted. So you have this target and then you can rotate this spotlight. Then only you can rotate it and reposition it. Okay. So I'll not make any spotlight now. So here, let me change it to photometric web. See that I have this type. The uniform diffuse, I can make it uniform diffuse. I will uncheck the target one. And here you can see that, okay, so I have changed the intensity. Yeah. Let me make it 10,000. Yeah. Okay, so here it is, the uniform diffuse. So when I choose the uniform diffuse, it scatter the light uniformly. Okay, it scatter the light uniformly. So that's what is selected. Now let me just select all this light. I have to reposition it, select similar, all these lights is there. Now I need to place it a bit more height. Okay, so that's what is placed. And here you can see this is the light. Okay, now this is placed in a rectangular cavity, right? So I need to see in rectangular shape, correct? So you see that it's uniformly spreading the light. It's uniformly spreading the light. Here also you can make it uniform spherical so that it will spread the light in a spherical form. Okay, in a spherical, that will be a spherical shape. In that spherical direction, it will start spreading. Okay, it will not spread in all direction uniformly. It will spread the light in spherical form around the sphere. It will spread the light, and here you can see that we are getting some different. Okay, so if you're choosing this uniform diffuse towards the top, you will not get any light. But if you want towards the top, so you can choose uniform spherical. So around that sphere, you will get light uniformly. So if it is needed, you can choose the uniform spherical option. Okay, so that you can choose. And right now the uh, light shape or the light source is point light. Here you can see that emit light from shape is point. Okay, so around that point, one sphere uh, is there to spread the light uniformly. So you can choose either uniform spherical or uniform diffuse. Okay, if you need any light towards the top. So I don't need that. I choose uniform diffuse. Okay, so it will spread uniformly uh, like a normal light. Okay, now I can change the emit light from shape. I can make it rectangle. So here all this rectangle are placed. So I can place a rectangle like this rectangle. I can place it. Okay. And here you can come to this left view and there you can change this settings if it is needed, like to rotate it or rescale it, you can do it. So here you can position it and here you can come to this length and width option. You can apply the length and width. You can make the changes for this rectangle. Now let me just uh, align it. Okay, so this is what we should make it for this shape. Okay, as per this is rectangle, and if I had needed a sphere or cylindrical, suppose I have a tube light. So for that I should go with this cylinder option. Okay, so that's what I needed right now. And about this should be added. This light shape should be added in the rendering also. This should be visible in the rendering. Okay, so let's go with that. Now all these options are already done here. Let me just come back to the initial within this model. Okay, so all this are already placed. All these lights are already placed. Okay, so here you can see this is the rectangle and this is the width. Okay, so the light shape is selected as rectangle and it is selected also in the rendering part. Okay, and shadows are on. Okay, and what kind of shadows? It will be area shadows or any shadow map is there, so you can choose shadow map and you can apply that shadow map. And this one is ray traced map. As per the light rays, it will trace the shadows. It will place the shadows. Okay, so after placing all these lights, what you can do, you can choose the camera position. You can place the camera. In the last class, we have learned how to place the camera. So this camera is already placed and you can switch the camera view. So this is the camera which is set and this is the camera. Okay, this is the camera which is set right now, which is selected right now. And after that, we can go to this render setup. Okay, and here we have this target. So active shade mode is there and we have some other options like 360 cloud rendering mode. You can choose cloud rendering. Okay, uh, now I'll only talk about this active shade mode and production rendering mode. So you can choose this active shade mode and then you can go for this render option. This one is there. Okay, right now this is rendered and here you can see that rectangle shape lights are visible in this render mode. Okay, and here you can see that I'm changing the position in my scene and in this rendered window, it is visible. It is visible. So that is the active shade mode. Means it is still active. This is active. If you change anything in the scene, if you change the position, or if you make changes on the light or any component, if you make changes, that will be reflected uh, in the rendered window. So that is the active shade modes. You choose this active shade mode when you are uh, doing trial and errors. You are making trial and errors and you were just checking this is the perfect rendered or not. So when you finalize, so you go with the production rendering mode. Okay, so there will be no changes after this when you make a render with the production rendering mode. So this is the final render and here you can see that even if I just a second, let it be completed. And in the background, we have this window, which is showing the progress of your rendering. Okay, now here you can see that even if I try to move it, so the rendering is still, so the image is extracted. So this is the final image. So now you cannot change it. So make sure you are going with the active shade mode if you are still working with the rendering and you're trying and you're experimenting with the rendering. All right. And now what to set within this common parameters. And here the view to render is set to this physical camera. This perspective, you can choose quad 4 perspective and you can go for this render here. Okay, so this one is selected. Okay, so this view will be rendered. Okay, and area to view. area to render. Here you can select like a region, you can select, just let it be completed. Okay, now here we have options like we can choose any selected object. We can go with the region. Okay, we can define any crop window. Okay, so that part only included in the render, and you see this part will be rendered only. Okay, this part will be rendered only. And here we have this clear option. Let me clear it. Okay, now also from here also we can choose iterative. You can render it again. And here you can see that only this part is visible in this render, and this part is only being rendered. All right. Let me cancel it. And here you can choose the whole view. Okay. And what will be the output size? You can define from here the list. You can define like HDTV, or else you can choose the custom, and here you can define the width and height, and image aspect ratio you can define. Okay, aperture width you can define. All right. And here all these options are selected. If there is any hidden geometry, suppose you have made it, you have hide, uh, so that if it is not included in the scene, but while rendering you can include it without making it visible in the scene. So in the scene you are not uh, adding it, but it is present and you have made it hidden. So you can include that hidden geometry in this rendered, and you can choose this. And area lights or shadows as point. No, I don't need this add as points. And video color check, this thing render to field. So nothing is required. And this is use advanced lighting. And these things are not required. Okay, so everything is fine. Now, where to save? Click on this save file. Okay, and there you define where you will be saving it. Okay, you can save the file, give it a name, give the file direction, you can save it. And here you choose this single output. Suppose you are rendering the animation. So for that, you will choose either the active time segment. You can choose the active time segment. So no matter the frame segment is there, no matter how many frame segment is there, it will be like fully recorded 0 to 1000 or 500, no matter how many frames are there. So it will render the full frame 0 to 100. And here you can specify like you don't want to record or render the full frame 0 to 100. So here you can specify like 0 to 70, 0 to 50. So for that you choose range. Or if you want to extract images for particular frames, so then you can choose the frames, and there you can mention like one frame and 5 to 12. So this like this you can choose. Okay. And here we are going with the single image. So that's why we are selecting this single image, and then you can save this file. Okay. So this how we set the rendering. So this is the render setup window. You can click here, or you can press F10 in your keyboard to open this render setup window. Now, this is all about artificial light, how we can place artificial lights for a night or evening scene. Now, let's talk about the daylight scene. So for that daylight, I will apply environment. I hope you guys remember in AutoCAD we have also applied environment, and as per the environment we get lights. So here also I can add environment and add sunlight. So let me show you how we can add environment. So for that I have the environment option. 8 is the shortcut. Here you have this option, environment and effects. And here you can come to this rendering window, and within this rendering, just yes, so here you have this environment. So here you see that 8 is the shortcut. You can either click or you can press 8. Right now we don't have any environment map, so we'll be using map. So we will check this use map option and click on this so that you can choose the map. And for choosing the map, I will go with this pit map, click on OK, and there then you can choose. Just a second, let me. Okay, I can choose this. Let me see. Yeah, so let's choose this one. Okay, and everything is there. Let's click on open. All right, so that is applied. Let's close this window. And now, even I have applied it, you cannot see the uh, environment background, right? Because within this view, I hope this is visible, right? This viewport background, this is set to environment background. You have to select this to environment background. Okay. So for this, for each and every viewport, you need to set that. Let me change it to front. If you need to change, if you need to make all this visible in the all viewports, so that choose this viewport background, and there you need to set environment background. Right now it is set to solid color. Okay, and here you can see that as per this I'm getting some lights, right? So these are there. Okay, and this from here also you can change the viewport background, environment background. Okay, now here you can see that this is set to user defined. We have some lighting and shadows option. So within this light and shadows, you can see that this shadows option is on and illuminate with scene lights. Okay, so this option is checked, illuminate with scene light. So lighting as per this, I'm getting the light. As per the scene, I'm getting the lights. Okay, so you can control the scene lights. You can unlock selected lights. So we have some progressive skylight option is available. So for this progressive skylight, you will see that if you are changing the position, as per that you will see some reflection. So when you are changing, so that means you are changing the sun position. So when you are changing the sun position, shadows will be reflected. So that you can set also. So go to this progressive skylight, and here you can see that when I'm changing, I'm getting some reflection in my shadows and all, right? And here I will choose this to off. I'll off them. Okay, I don't need them. Okay, so as per this, I'm getting some lights. So here, if I don't need it, progressive skylight, so I'll off this progressive skylight. And here also you can choose this active shade using Arnold. So here you can see the render mode. Okay. So I'm getting some lights as per the scene, but I need some more daylights, right? After that, we can come to this settings. We can come to this settings or systems. Now let me change it to perspective and let me change it to, let me uncheck this one. And I can place one sunlight over there. Okay. Or you can go with this daylight option. Okay. So you can change the exposure. Let me just place it. Okay. And what will be the direction? As per that, I will have some sunlights over there, and you can change it to manual. Either you can choose date, time, and location, and you can mention the time. And as per this, you will see the rotation. Okay. Either you can choose date, time, and location. Either you can make it manual so that you can move it manually. You, you can move it manually. All right, like this. So what is the requirement you can choose as per that? Let me see it from the top. Okay. All right. So this is placed. You can see in the perspective. This is placed near the light. Now let me change it to camera. And the exposure is too much. Here you can see, right? So I need to change the position. Let me make it to perspective view. I should change the position to near. Now let me change the camera, physical camera, and let me check the active shade mode. And here I'm getting more lights, right? So this way you can create your daylights, day scene you can create. Okay, and here you can change the camera, sorry, this position you can change. As per that, you will have lights. Okay, you can come to this modifier option. All right, so you can change. So make sure this sunlight is active, the skylight is active, and this is set to standard, you can change it to this one. And for this skylight, this one should be selected. This skylight should be selected. Okay. You can also select this standard one. And the shadows are on. Okay. And here also you can add some intensity over there. So can add multipliers. So let me change it to 80 like that. Nothing to decay. Uh, okay, so everything is fine now. And after that, you can render it. You can go with the final render. Go to this render, and this is the view. Can choose this physical camera that is selected right now. And then with the production rendering mode, we will render it. So this is the final render. Okay, so this is how we render it. We create the final output. Okay, and within this also, I need to make environment background, and nothing is there. No lights are there. So all the lights are off right now. Let me just on them. And here I don't need that viewport background. So I'll make the solid color. These are on right now. Okay, just a second. Let me go back to that environment. Let me go back to the environment. Don't use this map. Okay. That option. And here, let me check. Okay. Uh, so this is all about after placing all your materials, you place the lights, you place the environment. If you want to create a daylight scene, so you place the daylight or the sunlight over there. Okay. Uh, and then you get the right output. Okay, so this is all for today. I hope you understand. Practice this and do let me know.